Hello students, welcome once again in our video lecture series designed for students of class 11th. Today we will start a new chapter from your second book Indian Economic Development. The name of the chapter is Poverty, the fourth chapter of the book. As you know, poverty is a widespread social evil in underdeveloped countries, particularly in Asia and Africa. Can you define poverty? No, as there is no single and standard definition of poverty. For all countries being a relative concept, the meaning of poverty differs from country to country. But we have to consider the concept, incidence and causes of poverty in relation to India only. And not only this, but also the measures to deal with poverty. First of all, the question arises, who are the poor? It will be interesting to know here that who the poor people in India are or to which class they belong. Actually, we can see a number of poor people around us if we go to Varanasi areas, remote villages and slum areas in the urban sector. The major chunk of the poor people in rural areas generally belong to the principal categories like the landless labourers, the small and marginal farmers, the agricultural and casual labourers, the rural artisans, the tribals and disabled persons. Similarly, in urban sector also, most of the poor people are among the casual workers, daily wage workers, working at construction sites, domestic servants, rickshaw pullers, street vendors, cobblers, child workers working in canteens and dhabas called as chotu, beggars and the people living in slum areas. There are many families who do not get enough food to feed their family members. We see in our day-to-day life many people who do not have enough clothes to wear. We come across a number of people who do not have house and hence sleep under the open sky. We find such poor people in a very large number in our country, India. Now, we should understand the features of poverty. Following are the main features of poverty. Number 1, poverty refers to starvation. Poverty refers to hunger. Poverty refers to lack of shelter and proper clothing. Starvation and hunger are regarded as the key features of the poorest households in India. Secondly, poverty is a situation in which parents are unable to send their children to school. Thus, we can say that poverty and illiteracy go hand in hand. Third feature of poverty is that poor people cannot afford treatment at the time of illness since they have poor health. Fourth feature of poverty is malnutrition. Malnutrition, especially in case of children, is found among poor people. Fifth feature of poverty is that poor people generally have large size of family. Sixthly, unemployment or underemployment is also found in poor sections. Poor people do not get regular job at a fairly minimum price level. Seventhly, this is the poverty which motivates child labor. Eighth feature of poverty is that poor people do not get clean water to drink and sanitation facilities. In short, we can say that poor people live with a sense of helplessness. They are ill-treated at almost every place, whether it is farm, factories, offices, hospitals, railway stations, markets, even in our houses also in case of child labor. In this situation, who would like to remain poor? Obviously nobody. Nobody would like to be poor or live in poverty. Now the question is, how are poor people identified? The answer is, It is easy to identify the poor and poverty, but is very difficult to define it. However, efforts have been made to define poverty. Poverty may be defined as a situation in which a person is unable to secure even his basic requirements. These requirements include minimum human needs in respect of food, clothing, housing, education and health. Poverty is thus defined as a lack of income to acquire minimum necessities of life. In order to define poverty, we normally divide the people into two categories, the poor and the non-poor. And poverty line acts as the dividing line between these two categories, poor and non-poor. These two categories of poor and non-poor are further divided into subcategories. For instance, the category poor includes three kinds of poor: the absolutely poor, the very poor and the poor. Similarly, the categories of non-poor includes not so poor, the middle class, the upper middle class, the rich, the very rich and absolutely rich. There is one more way by which we can categorize the poverty. Actually, there can be three broad groups to explain poverty. First among them is chronic poor. It includes two kinds of people. First, people who are always poor, and the people who are usually poor but sometimes may have income higher than the poverty line, like casual workers. Second type of poor is transient poor. This category itself includes two kinds of poor people: churning poor, those who sometimes remain poor and sometimes cross the poverty line, example small farmers, and seasonal workers. Second type of transient poor are those who are occasionally poor. These people normally have income higher than the poverty line, but due to their bad luck, sometimes may remain below the poverty line. Third poor among the transient poor is non-poor. This category belongs to those people who are never poor. Students, now poverty line. Now a very important question is how to define and determine the poverty line. Means how can we explain the dividing line between the poor and non-poor. Basically, in pre-independent India, for the first time, Dadabhai Naoroji gave the concept of poverty line. For the estimation of poverty line, he coined the term jail cost of living, and how it was calculated is as follows. The jail cost of living was regarded as the cost of consumption of an adult prisoner, and for its estimation, he used the menu for a prisoner at appropriate prevailing prices. By dividing the country's population into two parts, he estimated poverty line on the basis of jail cost of living as follows. He assumed that 1/3 of country's population consisted of children. Out of this 1/3 children population, half of them consumed very little, while the other half consumed half of the adult diet. And remaining 2/3 of country's population consisted of adults, and they consumed full diet. On the basis of the average, poverty line comes out to be 3/4 of the adult jail cost of living. In post-independent India, the concept of poverty line was based on calorie intake. It is found that in India, the average calorie requirement of an average man is to have 2400 calories per day in the rural sector and 2100 calories per day per person in the urban sector. Poverty line is thus defined as the midpoint of the monthly per capita expenditure class, having a daily calorie intake of 2400 calories per person in rural areas and 2100 calories per person in urban areas. Means the people whose income is so low that they are unable to purchase the desired calories are regarded as a poor people, or they can be regarded as the people below the poverty line. The monetary expenditure needed for meeting these calorie requirements is revised upward periodically, taking into consideration the rise in the prices of consumption goods. We can take the data. For 2004-05, the estimation of poverty line was rupees 356 per capita per month for rural areas and rupees 458 per capita per person per month for urban areas. Thus, government uses the monthly per capita expenditure as the basis to define poverty line and also to identify the poor people. But this cannot be called a satisfactory mechanism to identify the poor households in the country. Why it is so? I mean to say, why poverty on the basis of monthly income cannot be a correct base for dividing poverty line. This we can understand with the help of an example. Suppose the poverty line is estimated at rupees 200 per month. Now there are two persons. First is getting rupees 190 per month and another person is having income of just rupees 100 per month. Now, according to the definition of our poverty line, both the persons will be grouped under one single category of poor people. But in terms of agony of the people, the two situations are not the same. If a person receives rupees 100 per month, this agony will be more acute than in case of a person who receives rupees 190 per month. Hence, it is not sufficient to know how many poor people there are, but how exactly poor they are. For this, we must attempt to know how large the shortfall of income of the poor is from the poverty line. In this regard, attempts have been made by some scholars to find alternative methods. The number of poor in India. When the number of poor people is estimated as the proportion of people below the poverty line, it is called as head count ratio. Students, now we are representing a table for you showing percentage and number of poor people. The estimates of poverty are given in two forms in the table: poverty ratio, means in percentage, and total number of poor people. What do they imply? When we say that poverty ratio in the rural sector in a particular year is 40% and in the urban sector is 35%, it means that 40% of the total rural population and 35% of total urban population in that particular year is below poverty line. Similarly, if we say that 38% population in India in a particular year is below poverty line, it means that 38% of country's total population in that year is below poverty line. This was the analysis of the above table. Now it is the time to recall what we have done today. We started our lecture with the meaning of poor and meaning of poverty line. Actually, poverty means starvation, hunger, lack of shelter and proper clothing. We discussed that people in India are divided into two categories, poor and non-poor. Poor are further classified into three categories: absolutely poor, the very poor and the poor. Non-poors are also further classified in 6 parts: not so poor, the middle class, the upper middle class, the rich, the very rich and the absolutely rich. Here, it is also important to revise the concept of poverty line. Poverty line is a dividing line between these two, poor and non-poor. Poors are also classified as chronic poor, transient poor and non-poor. These chronic poor are divided into two parts: people who are always poor and people who are usually poor. Transient poor are also classified in two parts: churning poor are those who are sometimes poor and occasionally poor are those whose income is normally higher than poverty line. Non-poor are those people who are never poor, whereas poverty line is defined on the basis of consumption, on the basis of calorie intake and monthly income. On the basis of consumption, we say that a person in a rural sector is not poor if he consumes 2400 calories per day, and in urban sector if he consumes 2100 calories per day. On the basis of monthly income, we say that a person is not poor in a rural sector if he earns rupees 368 per month, and in urban sector if he earns rupees 458 per month. So, it all was for today. We will meet in the next lecture with further explanation of the term poverty. Thank you.